Hey, this is my recap of Below Deck Season 2, Episode 3, Mojitos Mo'Problems. And my husband and dog are taking a nap on the bed, so I am just doing my recap right over. Oh, and he left the room. Okay, did this episode leave a kind of a foul taste in anyone else's mouth? So I'll get to that in a second. So the EMTs come over, Kelly and Amy go to the hospital. It turns out, he's fine, so he can come back. They get their new charter. They're from some California tech company. They really rub Kate the wrong way right from the beginning. I'll get more to that. They're bragging a lot. They're talking about all the stuff they have and all that. It's raining. And now Andrew comes to the captain and he says, I have to tell you, I kind of lied on my resume. I don't really have any boat experience. He's probably been on a boat, but he doesn't have any experience working. He has to go tell tell everyone else that. Now, this is my feeling on it, and this is what bothered me. The guy's clearly kind of a screw-up. I mean, I admit that he's not the hardest worker. He's kind of lazy. He obviously lied, which is a huge issue. It was a safety issue, all that. But they do choose to keep him, okay? So I kind of feel like if you make your bed, you should lie in it, meaning that if they're going to keep him, they have to let him try to learn. Instead of this passive-aggressive stuff. So, like, he made a comment about, if you need the bitch work, that should come to me. Now, let me just get on top of my little soapbox. I'm a huge, I hate feminizations as insults. That means things like calling people a little girl, bitch, stuff like that. It's basically saying that, you're like a woman and that's a bad thing and I hate that. And so I'm totally with them on that, but I don't know, it kind of felt like they were picking on him just because they didn't like him. And it wasn't really because they hate the use of the word bitch as an insult. And, the thing about her being more of a man than him. And I do have problems with those statements, but because of the way they've been talking the whole episode, it felt like that was just an excuse to ride on him. And if you're going to dislike someone and not let them do their job and then be like he's not doing his job, I kind of feel like it's a double-edged sword. And you've got to either fire the dude, which probably is exactly what should be done, or if you choose to keep someone on your staff that has no training, you have to train them and tell them what to do. So I just the whole thing annoyed me. It's kind of like, if you're not going to fire him and you're going to choose to keep him, then I don't want to hear any of this passive-aggressive BS. Anyway, Kate's in a bad mood. Man, I had no idea mojitos were such a big deal. Like, I'm never ordering another one again. But they do tell her that she needs to smile, which isn't really fair. I feel like it's becoming more of an issue with the term resting bitch face, which means that when you have no expression or you're thinking, that you look like you're angry. And I have that. All of my friends have that. Kate clearly has that. You're sitting there thinking about, what am I going to have for lunch and what do I need to do next? And then people are like, well, smile. And you're like, dude, seriously? Like, it's not your job. If you're a director, if you're a photographer, you can tell me to smile. If you're like a random person working for me, it's not really your business. Although she is in the business of making people look be happy, so maybe a little bit. Let's see. The charter itself was kind of, they really bothered Kate, but other than that, they love Ben. Not a whole lot else happened. Kat and Ben are hanging out a ton. I don't know if they're going to make it through this whole season without cheating on their significant others. We'll have to see. Let's see. What other highlights? Oh, and then at the end of the episode, Kelly's like, basically, it's either Andrew or me. I don't know. I didn't feel that anyone really came out looking pretty, good this episode, except maybe Amy came off looking pretty good and the captain. Everyone else kind of, I understand how frustrating it is, but it's kind of like whining's not really going to do you any good. So, there you go. Anyway, hit me up in the comments if you feel differently. Maybe I'm being too harsh on everyone, but, and I'm not saying that I think Andrew's this great guy, but, if you're going to keep him on, you gotta, if you're going to make your bed, you gotta sleep in it. So, there you go.